Patrick, I mentioned it, 23 days until the opening round of the U.S. Open. Are you ready? Like, do you even unpack your bag, or do you go full Keegan Bradley, just leave all the stuff packed?
I do not go full Keegan Bradley mode. I feel not emotionally drained, but physically drained after a major championship. Early mornings, long nights, so a little bit of a hibernation mode until
All
Pittsburgh,
right.
I think.
Okay. We do power rankings every week as we get kind of closer and closer to these major championships. What do we have? Do we have Scotty won this past time? I think I had Scotty won and you had Rory won. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
You
So
got it right.
I mean, not like we're going out on a limb and going, wow, Pat,
No one saw
we
that
picked
one coming.
we picked Rory and Scotty the first two majors. God, we're so smart. But Oakmont, side of the U.S. Open, 2016 was the last time I was there. Dustin Johnson won there. Kind of go through the history of the winners. You got to hit it pretty far. Hitting it straight helps as well. Angel Cabrera did that very, very well when he won there. And then obviously DJ drove it just right down the middle on him. Felt like every single fairway. Really the height of DJ Powers, by the way. So with that said, and I'm going to tell you this right now, my power rankings is very like chalky right now.
Same.
I don't know if you feel that way.
Who
do you have at number 5?
This one won't do great on socials for us. Very,
Who do you have
very
as
bland.
Who do you have as your 5th?
Number 5 is Xander Schauffele. The top 20 streak in major championships came to an end. But Shane, listen to his U.S. Open record. T5, T6, T3, 5th, T7, T14, T10, T7. So seems like this guy's going to finish inside the top 15 at worst at Oakmont if he doesn't have his A game. I think he's pretty close also. Just didn't really get off the bus the first 2 days, it felt like, and then found a little bit when he was out of contention, unfortunately. Who's your 5?
Same. I got Xander at number 5. Josh, producer Josh, saying 1,134 days between top 20 finishes in majors for our boy Xander. I was thinking about this. Like, I said it with Jordan going into the PGA, and obviously that didn't happen. But like all of a sudden, this Grand Slam talk feels like it's everywhere. It's like Rahm had a chance to win. He was going to knock off 3 of 4. Now Scotty's 2 away. Xander, as you mentioned, has a real good chance at Oakmont. Now all of a sudden he'd be 1 away. Like we went we basically went from Tiger to Rory. What was that? 20 whatever years, 25 years or something between Grand Slams happening. And now it feels like all of these conversations are happening around it. And it feels realistic. Like it doesn't feel like we're just throwing names out there. Like Xander feels realistic. Scotty obviously feels realistic,
Yeah, I think it's 2 parts. It's just because it just happened with Rory, and we're never satisfied as golf fans. We always want more, more, more.
Yep.
And then Shane, you look at the recent major championship winners. It's Xander twice, Scotty twice, Rory and Bryson. It seems like I'm not saying the underdog is dead in golf. We obviously had Harman and Clark there only a couple years ago, but it does seem like there's some real separation from the top and everyone else right now.
And it feels like this golf course, more than any at Oakmont, is going to separate the real players from the fake ones. So I got Xander 5. I got Rahm 4.
I've also got Rahm 4. So
I mean, this is going to be pretty chalky, I think.
This is going to be very chalky. Love to see him back in the mix. I think we said it all week. Major championships with Rahm are just better. He has a presence. He has a bit of an it factor that I don't think a lot of guys in professional golf have. And then I think putting himself back into contention, it was really the first time since his Masters win he was in that position. And I think we saw it with the short game shots late in that tournament. Maybe the sensations and the feelings surprised him a little bit, but he'll be ready for Oakmont.
Yeah, bunker shot of 14 was pretty trashy. Putt. I mean, I think he was trying to make the one on 15. I didn't read his transcript after, but I think he knew he needed to make eagle at the par 5. And so running that by 5 feet, birdie wasn't going to do much, considering Scotty still had those holes to play. But for a moment, it felt like he might do it when Scotty was kind of missing it left on the front 9. Rahm 4, I got Rory 3.
Oh,
Rory number 3 at Oakmont.
Gotcha. I have Bryson as number 3
okay. All right.
at Oakmont because of that iron play you talked about so much.
God, just the drive into the golf ball at Oakmont. I mean, I've played it a couple times. Like,
what's your best score?
Man, I played it in 2016 before that U.S. Open. I think I broke 80, and I played pretty well. I think I
All
might have
right.
shot like 78 or 79 and played well. And I think the
Okay.
other round, like back-to-back days, might have been like 87 or something. I mean, it's you start spraying it off the tee there in the thick rough, and I mean, it is almost unplayable. But I love that golf course. I think it's one of the best golf courses in the world. Uh, so my point is this: I feel like Rory has been the best player this year, right? I mean, even coming off the win from the PGA, Scotty, and he's the best player in the world. I think Rory's been the best player in 2025. The thing about Rory coming off I almost called it the Wells Fargo, coming off the PGA is it, there's still something I don't love about the way he's played major golf. Like that's 5 major rounds in a row now because he didn't play great the final round of the Masters, right? I mean,
Yeah, he
what did
did
he shoot,
not.
73?
Mm-hmm.
So you're 5 major rounds in a row. I think if he shoots 69, 69, 71, 70, and finishes 5th and it's not really in the conversation, I'd probably have him at 2 on my list here. But that was a weird week for Rory. Like
Yeah.
one of the weirdest weeks in a long time with the no media thing and the driver and him playing that bad on a golf course he's been dominant on. Like, I don't know where the headspace is, but I don't love where it's at. And that's kind of where I'm at. So that's why I have him at 3.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, a letdown almost felt inevitable,
Mm-hmm.
right? You accomplish your dream of dreams, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he's just going to go on a run now." People were calling him unburdened. He
Yeah.
has no stress at all. And like you mentioned, players kind of playing tricks on the media. It felt almost like the non-conforming driver thing was him not talking was almost like, "Okay, you guys tested my driver. You deal with it. I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with it. Let's make
Yeah.
this a bigger story than it is." My thing with Rory and having him too is he's really made it an emphasis to play US Open golf a lot better this last half decade or so. And so back-to-back runner-up finishes and then 4 straight top 10s before that also. That's why I'm giving him the nod over Bryson, even though Bryson is the 2-time champion and the defending champ.
Yeah, I mean, you forget that Rory, and I mean, we've talked about this, like basically from 2016 on, till 2022. Rory's major record, he'd sprinkle in a top 10. I mean, he's so talented, of course he would. But I mean, he missed 3 straight cuts in U.S. Opens, missed a cut at Oakmont. It was like he kind of felt a little lost in the
Yeah.
majors, and then really since then, I mean, you look at this here. I mean, it's incredible what he's been able to do in this specific major. And I also think Rory, for whatever reason, I think Rory looks at the U.S. Open as like the toughest test in golf, and I think for him personally, he looks at it like, am I the toughest golfer in the sport? And I think he thinks he is. I think he thinks, oh, you think it's a little bit like how Rom talked about I can't move the media can't talks about how I can't move the ball both ways. Let me show
Yeah.
you how I can. Like Rory's record at the US Open feels like, let me show you how good I am at this. But just in terms of the golf course, I think Bryson will be able to carry a lot of the trouble at Oakmont. And I think his floor is like a top 10. Like I just think that's how
Yeah.
good he's driving the golf ball. All right, I have obviously then we know the rest of our lineup. I got Bryson 2, you got Rory 2, we got
Yep.
Scotty 1.
Scotty is 1 this week for me. I think he's going to win, and then we'll be talking about Rory trying to win at Portrush and Scotty trying to win at
If you had
Portrush.
to take that list of 5 players or everybody else in the field, are you taking the list of 5 players we just put together?
1,000%. I,
Yeah.
I wrote about that yesterday too. Funny
I mean,
enough.
I would say like Ludwig's not playing good. He's probably the one guy on that list that if he found a little bit of game the next couple of weeks, I like his chances as well. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else. If you were going to give me 3 other guys, like who am I taking? I just have a hard time wanting anybody else.
Yeah. It's Morikawa if it's playing like super fast and it doesn't rain or anything. And he's able to kind of get out there in a different way, not all carry, but using the ground game a little bit. Shout out to Iowa football. But it is those 5 guys right now and then just everyone else. And I
Shane
think,
Low Shane Lowry on my list as well. Like I just
yeah,
think again, it depending on how it plays, if it's windy, if it's tough, just in terms of the pitching and stuff. I love I could talk myself into Lowry during US Open week. I mean he played
yeah,
well there in 16 as well.
yeah. I think he had a 3-stroke lead going into
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Him and,
Yeah.
can you remember the third guy in that conversation going into Sunday?
Well, I mean
Shane, it
it
was
was
Lowry, DJ, and
Well, I know Daniel Summerhays had a great week that week. I remember that. And then Andrew Landry, right?
First
He
round
was
leader.
in the hunt as well.
On Sunday,
Who
Scott
was it?
Piercy.
Scott Piercy. That's right. That's right. Interesting. That's yeah. I mean that was a weird week. I was doing interviews that week for Fox. So we had the US Open then. And the weather was kind of playing havoc on the golf tournament. I think at one point I had to get there on Saturday or Sunday morning real early to interview some of the players finishing up their round before they went back out. And then I had a huge gap of time before the final round. And I took a nap in the sauna in the Oakmont locker room because they used it as storage that week. So I got like 3 towels and laid them down, and I took a nap in the sauna because it was the only place I could find a little bit of peace. The sauna was not on, by the way. So
I thought that was my next question.
Yeah, it was not on.